Hi folks, I'm Nicole Gilbert and this is the Nicole Gilbert Quilts YouTube channel. Today on Recent Makes, we're discussing this beauty. And this is the Amaryllis Quilt designed by Chelsi Stratton of Chelsi Stratton Designs. And it is featured in her book along with her mother, Sherry McConnell, Home for the Holidays. So we will dive into this quilt in just a moment. Hey folks, okay, so I'm back. It has been a crazy move here for the Gilbert family. We have recently arrived in the greater Kansas City area, and while we love our home and our neighbors and our neighborhood, it's taken a lot to get settled in. Every time we move, as the kids get older, it gets a little bit harder. So I appreciate all of the love and support that has poured out towards me, and I am ready to get back to it. So, the Amaryllis quilt. First of all, as you can see, Christmas, because it's July, Christmas in July, folks. I know, I'm one of those people. But here's the fun thing about Christmas in July. You feel so accomplished because even if you only do one Christmas project during Christmas in July, and I know it's a little bit late in July, if you only do one Christmas project in the month of July, when Christmas rolls around, you've actually completed Christmas sewing. How great is that? Because you want to know what usually happens to me? If I don't do Christmas in July, come November, I start thinking about the at least one quilt, if not like multitudes of projects that I want to get done. And then it's November. So I'm doing Thanksgiving, I'm Christmas shopping, I'm preparing my house. I'm usually traveling in the Christmas season because military family, we got to travel to go see our families during that time of year. And then all of a sudden, I haven't done any Christmas sewing. It gets away from me really quickly. So by participating in Christmas in July, even if it's just one project, I have new Christmas sewing. So let's talk about this quilt. This is the Amaryllis, as I said earlier, by Chelsi Stratton, and it is featured in the Home for the Holidays book. This book hit stands about a month ago. I have a link of where you can purchase it below, and it's a pretty amazing book. What I love about this book is that all of the quote patterns in here, I would say a confident beginner can do. So you have some pretty beautiful, visually stunning quilts in here that are very easy to accomplish. I mean, this one was super simple, and it doesn't necessarily look like it would be that simple, and it really, really is. So that's first off. Second, my husband is blowing me up right now. Second, there's a bunch of small projects in here. Pillows and mug rugs and things of that nature, which is also great because, again, quick wins. And you can get a lot of Christmas sewing done by doing the smaller projects. So keep that in mind. This is an amazing book, an amazing value for the number of patterns that you're getting by getting this book. Again, the link for purchase is below in the description. So, Amaryllis. Some of the things that I absolutely love about this quilt. So one, really visually striking star block. This is one of those like star blocks. It's like, is it a star block? Is it a flower block? It's kind of both. Love it. Kind of reminds me a little bit of that Kapow quilt that I shared with you guys a couple months back. If you're not familiar with that, check out the comments below, or rather the description below. I have a link to that one as well. It's a great pattern as well. But this one is so much fun. What I found really interesting, there's a couple of things I found really interesting about this. One, this star block, the individual quadrants, because you do construct this in quadrants, kind of reminded me of a bear paw. A little different, obviously, because you've got these squares out here. But really, construction really did remind me of a bear's paw, which was really nice. It's a really traditional block that she has kind of put a huge spin on, and now it's visually these beautiful stars, which I love. I love doing a familiar block pattern in a new way. Love it. So that's one thing I found really interesting. Two, I have to admit, I don't do many quilts with sashing. I've done them. It's not like I never do them, but I would say I might sash something once or twice a year. I will say that's probably going to change soon just because I've been designing some new quilts that have sashing in them, so you might see a lot of sashing soon coming from me. But in general, when I'm going out and purchasing somebody else's pattern to complete, I don't typically do sashing. Here's why. Sashing is beautiful. Sashing provides necessary space around the blocks, but I find, and this is like from my own working quilting habits, that once I'm done with the blocks, I want to put the quilt top together. And the sashing is another step that I'm kind of like, ugh, I don't really want to do that right now. But it's necessary, and I love the way it looks at the end. What's cool about this quilt, if you look at it, you can see there's half blocks around the edges, up in the corners, and I don't think you can actually see that well in this video, but in the corners you actually have just corners of the quilts as well. So you've got these like only like half stars, and then you've got these full stars. Now, the way that you do this, you would think this is a block. This star right here is a block. It's not. The cornerstones in your sashing are actually the centers of the block, meaning that you're putting the sashing in by constructing the blocks. So when I was done making the blocks, I was done with the quilt top, basically, which is pretty darn cool when you really think about it. So instead of this being the block here, the block is actually from the center of this over to the center of this, up to the center of this, and over to the center of this. And this cornerstone is in the center, which is really, really fun. I really, really liked putting together this quilt. It was a very smart way for it to be pieced, and I was pretty impressed with it, as well as the fact that the pattern was super easy to follow. Just because I'm going to answer this, just because I know that someone's going to ask, this quilt collection, this fabric collection that I'm using, sorry, are you a quilter if you don't pick off random threads? This is Farmhouse Quilt, and it is produced by Riley Blake Designs. The name of the designer, unfortunately, is slipping my mind at this very moment. I'm having a moment, but it will be in the description below. But it is called Farmhouse Christmas, and it is produced by Riley Blake Designs. So that is the fabric that I used, but you can use, and again, I chose to do it Christmas. The book is all themed Christmas, so it felt right to do it in Christmas, but I could make this in anything, and I probably will in something really light and bright, like in my typical kind of wheelhouse like I usually do. I probably will remake this because it was that much fun. What's great about this, it's fat quarter friendly, which was awesome. And those fat quarters not only gave me all of the stars, it gave me the corner posts, and it's also giving me the binding. So the only thing besides the fat quarter bundle that I had to add to this was background fabric, which was pretty cool as well. So I am very, very excited about this quilt. I just wanted to share it with you because this is actually my first make in the new house and the new sewing studio. And I have to say, I'm loving my new sewing studio, guys. I cannot wait to give you a tour. It's almost done. Not gonna lie, I can see like a trash bag over there and some boxes over there. So it's not 100% completed, but it's coming soon. I just wanted to share my recent make with you. All of the links that we discussed are below in the description. And if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. I can't wait to hear from you. Bye for now.